Wednesday. So I need to make us some bread. I am using finely milled flour out of this cookbook here. We've not tried this recipe before, so the first thing I got to do is it calls for fresh milled flour, hard white, which this is what this is. I mean, it's just wheat berries. And then it calls for kamut. I don't have any of that, so I'm going to use bread flour, which is a good substitution because they both are high protein. I only need 80 grams of that. Then I will need 180 grams of water, or 3/4 of a cup. I'll need 180 grams or 3/4 a cup of milk, 3 tablespoons of sugar or honey, or 63 grams, and I'm going to use honey. We have from our local bee person here some really good honey. And then it calls for salt. I'm going to be using my pink Himalayan salt. And then it calls for 1 egg. And it calls for my instant yeast, which is still in the freezer. So I'm going to weigh up my 450 grams of hard wheat so I can get that grinding. And it will turn it into our flour. Okay, I've got 454. So that was at 490, so that's going to be close enough. All right. Okay, so now I am going to add this to my my Nutri-Mill. It is the classic grain. I dump it in the top, and then it will mill it, and then it will come out inside of here. So, and I this is really loud, so well, loud for if you're wearing earphones. So I'm going to get this going, and when it's done, I'll bring you back. So. Hey friends, so I got my flour milled in here, so the next thing I need to do is get my wet ingredients. So it is calling for 3/4 cup of water, or 180 grams of water. That is too much. And that is too little. 180. Okay. Then I need 3/4 cup of milk, so another 180. Okay, that was 181, so I'll take it. Water, milk, and butter. And then I need 3 tablespoons of butter. And this butter has set out overnight, so maybe it's not going to take as long to melt. And it calls for 42 grams, so. And all this is going to go in the microwave to be heated up. All right, that was 41 grams instead of 42, which is fine. All right, so I am going to put it in the microwave until it's warm. So now I'm adding my salt. I use pink Himalayan. And it calls for 1.5 teaspoons. And then now I'm adding my honey, 63 grams. Now this recipe will make 2 8x4 loaves. So it says I have to mix this before adding the flour. Let me break that egg. So that is the wheat flour I just ground up. Make sure I get it all in there. I'm going to add my bread flour, where normally I would add the kamut with this. And I'm going to cover this up. And then I'm going to mix it up. And I only mix it until it's combined, and I don't see any pockets of flour. So this is very sticky and very wet. It's not like your traditional bread. So this will now set what they call autolyzing, which means you're just rehydrating those berries. So this will set for 15 minutes, and then I will do my cleanup. Okay, so I am just going to load up the dishwasher. I tend to like to do this so I don't have a lot of cleaning to do afterwards. So you are sitting on top of the dishwasher so you won't see me put dishes in. When I made those hamburger buns, this was exactly how we did it. And I used the bread flour because they both are high protein and you need a high protein to make your breads rise. The only thing different is you do not add the yeast to it until after it sits there and autolyzes or rehydrates for its basically 15 minutes up to 2 hours. But I found that 15 minutes is just enough time for it to be okay. And the flour bin here, this just pops off and all I do is wipe it out on these and then it's good to go. Jerry went to run in and buy groceries as I'm making our bread, so all right. I have to wash this sometime. I did get one of these rollers for the small doughs. So hopefully, as you can tell, it's a very nice sunny day. It's cold. So let me get this quickly cleaned off. Quickly, I have 11 minutes, so. So the next step would be is to add the yeast. I always store my yeast in the freezer. It lasts way longer that way. So, and then just pull it out when I need it and then put it back in the freezer. So I was saying, Mr. Jerry would like to try in the wheat berries kamut and spelt. Those are ancient grains. The hard white and soft white that I use is a more modern day wheat, where the others are ancient grains. I just know the kamut will give it more of a buttery texture and taste and maybe a golden color. Spelt, I'm not for sure. But this gal that I follow her recipe, she uses all of them like that all the time. And we've heard nothing but good things on the good health benefits for this. So, but anyways, I'll bring you back when it's time to add the yeast and to start mixing it. In this new mixer that he got me, the last time the buns only took like 5 minutes before I got it super stretchy and I could spread it apart and it's like a window pane. So hopefully this one will be like that, but I'll see you in about 8 minutes. So this weekend I am going to hopefully start my parsley, my thyme, oregano, and lavender. And then the middle of March, I will be starting some chives. And then in April, I'll be doing some basil. And Labor Day weekend, I will be doing some sage. And then I will be direct sowing in middle of May after the frost, some dill and cilantro. So hopefully I will be getting those done. This right here this weekend, I need to up pop my onions, and I had 2 cabbage plants, seedlings that just popped up. So hopefully I get a little bit more, but if not, it will be okay, because I plan on doing a winter or a fall sowing of the cabbage. Okay, it's been 15 minutes and that's what the dough is looking like. So I need to add my yeast to it. And that was 2 teaspoons. If I said tablespoons before, I read it wrong. 2 teaspoons. And I'm going to scrape down the sides a little bit before I start this up. And I'm going to start this up. Hey friends, so I'm going to let this go for the 5 minutes, and if you don't want to watch it, that's alright, just fast forward to the next section. But I wanted to show you what it looks like as you are kneading freshly milled flour. Because the dough is very wet and sticky, your first thought is that you need to add more flour. And if you watch, you will see that the dough is sticking on the bottom a lot and around in the middle shaft. But the more it is kneaded, the better the dough gets, the less stickiness that it gets, and you'll start to see long strands forming, which is the gluten. So I just thought I would show you how this changes. Now, when I stop this in 5 minutes, if it wasn't ready, if it looked rough looking and it wouldn't stretch very well, I would do 2 more minutes. But if you do need to add something, like you know is still way too wet, with freshly milled flour, they say to add just a little bit of water instead of the flour. But this gal, her recipes, she makes it so that it is wet dough, but everything so far turns out. So I hope you enjoy watching this, and I will talk to you in a little bit. can see that it has cleaned the sides of the bowl and the bottom. There's just a little bit that wants to grab on the center, and you can, when it does towards the bottom, you can see how it is stretching it and how the dough has kind of changed. So this is all good signs to look for. She always suggests that you watch your dough for the first time so you can see the transformation, so you know what to look for. So I hope you have enjoyed this, and I will see you in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to check it to see how elastic it is. I'm going to wet my finger so I can see. Oh, it feels really good. So as I pull that up, so this is already done for me, but look how well that stretched. And see, there's a little bit of window pane there. But this is really good dough. So this dough right now is all set. This gal's recipe, she does it so that's a little bit wetter. So now I will take the blades off, the dough hook and everything. And I did get some up from underneath. But this is exactly how my, see, it's real sticky. So, but that center shaft will come right out. But if I go in here, let me get my fingers wet again. I can actually pull this up. And then it comes right up. And so yeah, you can see it's really sticky, but if you put surface tension in it, it will be fine, which just means you just kind of pull it into a ball. So now I will let this rest covered for an hour. Get all this over here, because I've always done white bread with white flour. And if it was this sticky, you would add more flour. But in berries like this, you would add more water, is what they suggest. I want to get that dough out of there. So, but anyways, so I will put the cover on this. And this will create its own warm bed in there. And this will set for an hour, and I'll come back and look at it to see if it's doubled in size. It can take up to 2 hours, depends how cold your house is. So, but the last time it took me only an hour. So this will probably close the vlog out. I know at the beginning I showed you how to do the bread and everything, and if you're not interested in it, hopefully you just didn't leave to not say hey to me, and that you just, you know, zoomed it ahead, whatever. But I just thought for the ones who's never done freshly milled flour breads, I would take you along, because this is the first time for me using that recipe. And I'm going to tell you, the breads rose really well on the second rise, and they baked really well. Now, Mr. Jerry came in to help me, and we ran out of olive oil spray on the second one, and he says he sprayed it, he rubbed his finger across it and everything. So that one, the bottom stuck and the bottom didn't come out, so it kind of tore off the bottom. But the other one came out. They both look good, they smell good. I've got butter on the top of them, and I got them cooling off in a tea towel. And as you can see, we are out. It is starting to snow, and we went and got the backing for that patriotic quilt, and that she had this thing that holds spools, and I'm going to put my English paper piecing in there. And now we are at Farm and Home and picking up some more bird seed, and then we're going to head home and cut into the bread. But I'll take pictures of what it looks like, and then I will also what it looks like cut, and let you know how it is. We're going to have pizzas Friday. I'm thinking Friday. Mr. Jerry's surgery, he should be awake enough for supper, and she has a pizza dough, so I'm going to try that. And she suggests that you do it the day before, or 2 or 3 days. The more you let it set for like 2 or 3 days, the more yeasty the dough gets. So I'm just going to do it overnight, and it makes enough for 2 pizzas, like a 12-inch pizza. So I will freeze the other dough, and we'll use the one. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope that you all are well, and yeah, you know, this is what retirement is all about, is trying new things. And for me, with the freshly milled flour, the health benefits for his heart disease and my diabetes, this is better for us than the white processed. And so this is why we are investing in all this and doing it. And I've had several fails before I got the great stretch that I showed you earlier. So anyways, I'm going to let you go, my friends, and I will show you the fabric, and then hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. Thanks. So we decided on, since it's patriotic, this is 108 fabric, so it's 108 inches, and it should give me only like 2 inches on the sides all the way around, which is pretty tight, but I will pin it really well so it doesn't shift too much. So we got that, and then we got the batting, and for a king size bed, because that's basically what this is. So, but anyways, that is where we are at. So thanks for stopping by, my friends, until we can meet up again. See you soon.